Shalom, shalom.
You ain't getting far cause you lazy. Gotta put in work for the kingdom, baby. Praise the most high, I'm loving how he made me. And yeah, I'm an Israelite, baby. Yeah, I was moving different, had to get my life right. Praise the most high for repentance, now my mind right. Never falling, I keep trying till I get it right. And you know they hate you when you say it. I'm in love with them, don't compare me to Christ, yeah. I'm a filthy rag trying to live righteous. Going through the world trying to be a light, yeah. Trials and tribulations, gotta keep fighting. Telling the world all my sins. Praying that someone repents. The past, I can't let it back in. My time coming, gotta keep praying.
Oh,
All the small talk don't faze me. I'm a real Israelite baby. Came from the slums, it was crazy. Now I'm in the strips reading daily. You ain't getting far cause you lazy. Gotta put in work for the kingdom, baby. Praise the most high, I'm loving
shalom,
how you
shalom.
made me. And yeah, I'm an Israelite baby. Moving out. Yeah, that old man had to move on out. No more sleepy going back a calm now. Living righteous trips with my mom now. I remember it was hard times. Most I woke me up, renew my mind. Wifey told me watch out for them snakes. Discerning out who real and who fake it. The kingdom is my destiny, gotta make it. Most of these artists is shady, but I'm a real Israelite baby. Gotta lock in with the most high daily. Read the word in the streets going crazy. All the small talk don't faze me. I'm a real Israelite baby. Came from the slums, it was crazy. Now I'm in them strips reading daily. You ain't getting far cause you lazy. Gotta put in work for the kingdom, baby. Praise the most high, I'm loving how he made me. And yeah, I'm an Israelite baby.
Shalom.
For the kingdom, baby. Praise the most high, I'm loving how he made me. And yeah, I'm an Israelite baby.
All right, all right. All praise to the Most High. Shalom, shalom. Everybody tuning in. Rita Mariah, Cortez, the chosen one. Um, tuning in for another day. If you help us, help us during the day. Help us, uh, so we continuing on as the with the videos of my okay short like echo. Uh,
On my end?
if if this I think where it's coming from. But can you still hear me though, B? Okay, come on, I'll pray. So am I still we still got an echo, y'all? What about now? Still cutting in and out? Better? Okay, it's better now. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Father lights, ancient of days. Just was saying though, the Most High been merciful to us. He's been keeping us. Man, all praise. We clear now. All praise to the Most High. He been keeping us. I said I got to say it. Anytime we get started, we going off the muscle, we get engaged, we glorifying the Holy One of Israel. So if we are able to view what we doing right now, that mean the Most High kept us last night. It mean He preserved us to the morning. He allowed us to see the noon. and now we at eventide. So he been with us all day, despite how the day went and whatever has went on. I mean, he been merciful. So all glory, honor, and praise go to him. But with these videos, my journey into the truth, as brothers and sisters come on, the objective is, as I always say, uh, everybody not gonna come into the fold or the truth. And when I say the truth, I mean Negroes understanding that we are Israelites, that we the chosen people of the Most High God, that He's our God, according to Joel 2:27, that He love us more than any other race and nation of people. So, with that being said, everybody not gonna come into the fold or their understanding to accept it solely based off YouTube videos or brother street preaching, you know what I mean, or even the truth music. A lot of times what's going on, people understand the power of the Most High. They believe it enough to say, yeah, he exists. He is who he say he is, but I'm too filthy. I'm unclean. I'm not worthy for him to show that type of love to me. He won't accept me. So the objective with my journey to the truth is to speak on our testimonies, to speak on the things and the different situations that the Most High brought us from, that he preserved us from, and then he still allowed us to change. But we had the opportunity to build on that relationship. You know what I mean? In truth and spirit. Uh, so I got my aunt, Brandon Lewis, you know what I mean? From the time period that I've been in the fold, I've met a lot of people, and discern different spirits. And out of a slew of people, this brother here, I consider him a real brother. I consider him a genuine brother. You know what I mean? A brother that we can disagree and it still be love. You know what I'm saying? A brother who about to work. Even talk to him. We on the phone one day and we just chopping it up. And I heard he pulled over. He like, man, hold up, hold up, hold up. So he ended up pulling over on a sister. She had just had a wreck. You know what I'm saying? And he checking on his sister. You know what I'm saying? On the phone, like this in the midst of a conversation. This ain't nothing planned. But it was an expression to show this one of the ones who got love for us for real. You know what I'm saying? And that love ain't gonna always be, something nice. A shallow woman handshake was good with you. Sometimes that love gonna be that correction. You know what I'm saying? I call them righteous frustration. You know what I'm saying? That's what I nickname 'em for me. But with that being said, though, I asked the brother to come on and share his story. You know what I'm saying? His testimony. We prayerfully that, you know, anybody who hear it, you understand that if he can do it for Brandon, you know what I'm saying, he can do it for you too, man. The Most High, he got his hand extended. You gotta want that hand. You gotta reach out and reach back, though. All right, so you want to say something before we jump into it?
All praises to the Most High. 12 tribes, one nation. Hallelujah.
God, I'll pray to the Most High. All right, so I'm gonna kick it out with the verse, man. Revelation 12 and 11. Because some people say, well, this not something that you should be sharing or talking about. What does it have to do with salvation? All right, Revelation chapter 12, verse 11, it says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death. All right, so this is why we share these testimonies. You know what I'm saying? This is how we overcome. You might feel alone. Can't nobody relate to what you got, what you done dealt with, or what you dealing with. Man, the Most High got healers everywhere. And you ain't the only one. Somebody can relate. You know what I mean? So these stories help people build them up, strengthen them. You know what I mean? Help them with their endurance in the walk. All right, and I guess one more thing before we jump into it. The song that was played, that was by Akshakan, Israelite Baby. Akshakan, Israelite Baby. All right, Ak. So I'll start off with asking you, how long have you been in the truth? How long have you been walking with the Most High according to what the Bible actually says? You still muted, Saint?
All right. Slocky. Really walking in the truth, I say since I touched down out of prison May 10th, 2017.
Mm.
I came out with the mind of, you know, I gave myself to the streets and to, pretty much wickedness. So let me give myself over to righteousness and really try the book. In Christianity, it's this thing of living right involved going to church. As long as you ain't stealing, you ain't killing nobody, you know, you living a righteous life. But I'm talking about the whole thing. I'm talking about the living right. I'm talking about the not fornicating. I'm talking about, whatever the Most High would desire of me. 2017 is the time I decided to forsake everything for what's right.
All praise to the most. So I guess I had to mute for the echo.
Nah, man, it's crazy.
I
It's
know.
cool though. I'm sorry. I got you though.
It's all good. So in the case where 2017, all right, like what was it? What happened? You know what I'm saying? You, well, it's a free questions. So you have a background of going to church. Like, what was the denomination? How was your family? You know what I mean? As far as religion, period.
Well, I'm from the South, Alabama, Birmingham, and surrounding areas. Um, my background is um Baptist. Spent some time in CME. Um, Pretty much that old school hellfire brimstone kind of church thing. You know what I'm saying? But um, it always seemed hypocritical. The words touch me, words of life touch me. But as far as those that taught the word and the assemblies and the congregations, it just always seemed so hypocritical that it never took root.
Mm, okay. And what's CME? That's my first time hearing it. CME.
I think that's Christian Methodist uh, Episcopal.
Okay.
Christian Methodist Episcopal. I don't know what that entails. All I know is um, it was an older gentleman that used to have all the game systems, PlayStation, Xbox, you know, all the new stuff, and he let the kids in the neighborhood come play if they went to church on Sunday. And
Mm,
the church he went to, it was a CME church.
mm. Okay. All right, that's something. So he using tactics in order to get them involved. And we see that the adversary family, brothers and sisters, he still do that today. You know what I'm saying? To get them on board with his mission. I'm talking about the enemy. You know what I mean? With folly and confusion too. All right, but B, so 2017, like when you heard the truth, like how did it come to you? You know what I'm saying? What was it that snatched you from the Baptist or the CME? You know what I'm saying? What did you heard that really, you know what I'm saying, like you said, you gave yourself over to the streets? What was it about the truth that made you say, "Man, okay, this is it right here"?
Well, I had actually got familiar with the truth prior to 2017, right? But you know, these things come in stages for real. Like, um, that's why I'm really not street preaching. To me, it serves as a light to cause a person to consider, right? But really getting into this walk, you're not gonna really get into this walk until you fed up with the world, until you get tired. Because if you don't get tired, a person can guilt trip you into doing stuff. Because deep down,
in our hearts, we know we living wrong. We know we doing wrong, right? Because our ruach testifies against us, right? It's either for us or against us. And a lot of people get high and get drunk and get into sex and all these crazy things to try to block the fact that it's something eating at them, right? But um I really got into the thinking mode of us being the people of the book, I say around the time of Obama. When he first started running, this whole thing about the Antichrist, you know, and this whole thing about that, and something in scripture mixed with the Antichrist, mixed with him, it just made me think about, the Antichrist, if the whole book is about these people, then this Antichrist is really meant to trick these people. And considering us and our plight and all that, mixed with Obama becoming president, I was like, man, we the people, right? But I never really had anything to really prove it. I just felt like that. And then I came across brother Yerushalayim, man. Shout out to brother Yerushalayim. I hate what's become of, that situation. Anybody who knows of him, he woke a lot of people up with the hidden identity of the slaves, right? A lot of videos. And he really gave me the scriptural context, Deuteronomy 28, you know, Jeremiah, Revelation 2, and, just a bunch of different things that really made it concrete, right? So I slowly start to recognize stuff, and, I call myself trying to slow down on my fornicating and my drug dealing on Shabbat. Friday, Friday midnight to Saturday midnight. I say, I ain't gonna serve nothing. I ain't gonna sleep with these women. I'm gonna chill. Just slowly. Know how you do. You try to, half ass do right. You know what I'm saying? But what really cemented it in for me was, it was crazy how I got locked up, because I had a roommate, and we all hustling. You had said in a song, you said your spot was the spot they all chillin' ate. Now they don't even call your phone to check if you straight, right? We had a spot like that. We had the spot where everybody came to play the game, came to gamble. In the midst of this, serves is being bust. But it's like, it ain't no real J's. I'm dealing with a lot of females. My partner dealing with certain ones or whatever. So it's traffic, but it ain't just blatant traffic. You know what I'm saying? So, it ended up being a kick in due to my roommate's partner getting jammed up, and he got jammed up leaving the house, so he had to, he didn't really snitch us out, but he had to find a reason to say he got caught leaving this spot with dope. So, long story short, he say he got it from another nigga, but they did it at the house. So, when the raid come, I'm in the house. He come over all the time. So he come over. Long story short, I get jammed up in such a way that the police ain't know me, ain't know who I was, ain't know nothing. I just happened to have my stuff on me. Rather than put it on my roommate or put it on anybody, I had to take that, right? So I took that, and while I'm down, I'm like, man, I'm done, man. I'm done. Like, I thought I did this as best I could do it. And I still ended up locked up. And none of these niggas locked up. Police don't know me, and I'm the only nigga locked up. I said, man, I'm done. Right? So, while I'm gone, my mama sends me a KJV 1611 because I'd always heard about the KJV
Mm.
with the apocrypha in it, and she sent me one. She actually ended up sending me two because I got transferred. One got lost in the system, and when it finally caught up, I had the other one, so I had two or whatever. But anyway, I had time to really dig into the scriptures and to really get into it and read these stories and get real fermented in the scriptures and really convicted in myself that this is true. Without a pastor teaching me, without group leaders teaching me, just really seeing it for myself and reading it, and that's what that combined with my bitterness about the streets. None of the women I was dealing with really rolled, you know. None of the dudes I was hustling with really looked out. They was looking out in the county. They ain't look out when I was down the road. You know what I'm saying? And just I just said, man, I'm rocking with the Most High now. So that was the start of it.
Mm. Come on. All praise to the Most High, man. So the transition, you know, like you said, man, you made a key point. That is, that's for real, for real. You know what I mean? We can hear scriptures and everything, but we have to be tired. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be done, wore out, finished with it. You know what I'm saying? Before we actually make that move. But all praise to the Most High, man, for preserving you. You know what I mean? Without jumping too far within, like ahead of where you at now. You know what I mean? For those who don't know, this is the same brother who the Most High put it on his spirit for the Hebron's men gathering. You know what I'm saying? So something that I learned was every person matter. You know what I mean? So in this case, had you stayed in that lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? It's people today who the Father used you to touch, including me. You know what I'm saying? That they probably wouldn't have never had that inspiration, son. You know what I'm saying? So you get down the road. How long was you in there?
Well, I did 14 months on a 7 because I copped out. I went. They came with with 8 years, 10 years papers, class B.
Mm.
Um, I copped out to, well, I tried to cop out to a 5C and go. That means I'm going straight to the joint, no papers. Um, yeah. So I could have got right back out on papers with a 10-year backup. That's a
Mm.
class B, meaning if I violate and go back, I'm finna pull almost all of that. I'm finna pull what, 85%
Mm.
on a 10. That's like 8.5 years.
Right.
So I took the 14 months. Y'all was gracious. He was gracious with that because that was my third case.
Mm.
But yeah, uh 14 months.
Get out. You get out. Now you done built yourself up off the 1611, the KJV with the Apocrypha. What's the first move you making? You know what I'm saying? And at this point, I'm sure, you know what I mean, these guys, did they try to come back around? You know what I'm saying? How people reacting to you now that you serious about the walk?
I'm gonna tell you something. Uh, I believe y'all started to deal with me and keep me because of that time when I was first out. Because everything I left, was waiting on me. It's a credit when you go down and take your own way to stand up and come home, right? But it's like everything I left was still there. The women still there, and it's this thing with men and women called fresh out. They want that fresh out, that built up tension, that built up aggression, and and all that,
Right.
they want first dibs on that. And
Right.
that was waiting on me. Now, mind you, I had a mind to be celibate. I had a mind to the next woman I sleep with is gonna be my wife. Also, mind you, you know, I'm a I'm a man. I was a whoremonger, man. Before I went in, I was really fornicating with these women out here. So actually, the morning they kicked in, I had just got through. Hadn't had a chance to shower yet. So that's the last thing I knew. And when I
Mm,
came home, there was the same chick waiting on me.
mm,
So
mm,
I fought that. I fought against her. I fought against my plugs had gotten more money and gotten better.
mm.
And they knew I was straight because they was still on the street. So they was ready. What you need? What you need? What you want? You good? I ain't gonna lie. Thought long and hard about that one. They said that you could
Mm, mm,
sell a stranger polluted meat. We can't have it, but they could have it. They had me thinking. I said, whoa, woo, just a
man,
minute.
man.
But
I feel you. I feel you.
man, I stayed strong, man. Y'all was with me. I got out on a Wednesday. I had a job. I got an interview that Saturday. Started that Monday. I got out to a halfway house. I had the opportunity to go to different places. I could have went to my mom's house. I had a couple chicks' houses I could have went to, right? But I had this mind of, you know, part of my story. One of the biggest parts of my story is that I've always been unstable, right? I've
Mm,
always, um, you know, it always stuck in my head that a backsliding man is unstable in all his ways, right? So I never had my own place, never paid my own bill. I done went half on bills and I done paid other folks' bills and they stuff with their name. And when everything went bad, I had to go.
mm, mm,
So, you know, I never stood on my own 2 feet. And that was one of the main things I was determined to do when I got out. So, um, I went to a faith-based halfway house, um, which is an oxymoron in itself. It's crazy. I mean, I appreciate the platform, but it really allowed me to see the marriage that a lot of these pastors got with the state, with the 501c3. I really got to see that personally, up close and in person. I got to see how it operates and how it's really not about the words. Cause mind you, I'm coming out the same passion and zeal I got now. I had it then. So I'm
mm,
in here. These people talking about scriptures. I'm like, man, this thing deeper than what y'all talking about. Y'all, you know, um, I was about the deeper things of scripture and trying to bring that out, and they like, man, you doing too much.
mm, mm,
It ain't that serious. I'm like, it is that serious. Y'all got a Christmas tree in the altar. You want
mm,
me to show you Jeremiah 10?
mm, mm.
I'm on that. And they like rebuking me, man. You just a drug dealer, man. You ain't nobody. Who is you to tell us? And you know, I'm a, you know, rebel rouser to them. So these are the kind of battles I'm dealing with. In the midst of dealing with them, I'm dealing with. While I was gone, all my stuff got thrown away, got you know stolen. Cause they kicked in the house. They
Mm,
couldn't get the door down, so they bust all the windows out. They was about to. It was a damn tank in the driveway. They was finna pull the whole side of the house down.
mm,
This
mm,
heathens got these toys. Can't wait to play with them. But
mhm, mhm,
they bust all the windows out. So when all the police leave, all the niggas in the neighborhood say, "Oh, ain't nobody in that house." So they go in there, get all the TVs, all the Xboxes, all the shocks and J's, and they go in there and clean it out.
Mm.
Then everything that was left over, I had an ex of mine to go get. And while I'm gone, she ended up getting with another dude, and she ended up throwing the rest of that away. So I get out to nothing, which is all praises to the Most High, because I felt like He wanted me to have nothing. So that
Right.
everything I got now, I got it because of Him, man.
All
And
praise.
and I feel like you had spoke about Hebron, right? I feel like the Most High gave me two mandates. Like my my ministry, my thing is twofold. It's about men getting back in a rightful position, which is what I became to do. I went from being a whoremonger, unstable, to, you know, I'm married. I pay the bills. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. She don't work for nobody. Don't no man tell her to do nothing. I'm the only one that tell her to do something. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. Yeah. You know. Huh?
No, no, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So, from what I was to what I am now, I just had a child. He 10 months old. He was born at home in my bedroom with me at wives, circumcised on the eighth day. You know, my wife was anemic. She could have died in childbirth. He could have died in childbirth. Y'all was with me. You know what I'm saying? It's like this the kind of stuff that, and this man, it's my story so multifaceted that it was times where I was tested with my faith and with staying firm, and I had to do that. And y'all said, those that believe on Him will not be um uh uh disgraced, man. And He been holding me up. Hallelujah.
Praise the Most High, man. I want to talk about the multifaceted and the other parts. You know what I'm saying? As much as you can. You know, what I mean? I know. You know, we streaming this thing, so it's put out into the public to where they better go back and look at it. So whatever you can share, you know what I mean. Whatever you, the main things that's important to you that you think will be impactful to, like I ask people, you know what I'm saying. If you saw the younger you, if you had the chance to speak to the old Brandon, you know what I'm saying. It's like, what would you tell them in the trap house? You know what I mean? And understanding that the same, it talking to you is many other brothers and even sisters who dealing with the same things.
Man, what would I tell me if I could go back in time and catch me sitting in the trap?
Mhm.
I I don't even know, cause it's like I'm thankful for all of it, man. I done been homeless. I done slept on the street,
Mm,
in the cold, in the snow.
mm,
Been in prison with no canteen, no help.
mm,
I done been put out at random crazy times dealing with these women, insecure women with nothing,
mm,
and locked up hella times. Um, like I said, this last case, it was my third case, my third drug case. They can hit you with a charge called prior persistent,
mm,
also known as a career criminal or whatever. That's when they can amplify your charges. They could give you a 25-year sentence and make you do uh 85% of it,
mm.
or 15 years and do 85% of it. So I really was going through some things, man, but it's like all that made me who I am now. Everything I went through, every loss I took, every gain I made, it made me, it gave me the character I got now. That's why I believe in the Most High. My problem ain't with the Most High, it ain't with His word. My problem is with people. and their pollution of his word or their lack of faith in his word. And I just try to encourage, man. You know, I if if I rebuke, if I admonish, it's in hopes of repentance. It's not in condemnation. You know, people always quote Hamashiach about casting the first stone. They don't understand. Ain't no coming back when you stone somebody. You supposed to stone them to the death.
Mm,
You ain't supposed to. You ain't supposed to stone. If anybody ever got away from a stone, and it's been by the 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 esteem of the Most High that they got away. They really supposed to stone you until you dead, man. And that's what the kind of conviction and condemnation he was he was dealing with them about. And then they ain't even deal righteously in the law because they supposed to brought both of them. They supposed to brought the man and the woman. And if
yeah.
they did it right, he's supposed to join in.
Mm,
Supposed to get everybody in the vicinity supposed to take part in the stoning.
right.
But they didn't deal justly. They was wicked. So because of their wickedness, she was granted repentance. And so I'm of the mind of let's just do better. Let's just because coming from what I come from and the things I did against the Most High with His daughters, I was never a shyster. I like to think of myself as a uh, all intensive purposes a nice drug dealer and a nice a nice gigolo. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was shiesty, it was a lot of positions I was in that and that's another reason I feel like the Most High dealt with me was that it was never really in my heart to be just a real like cold blooded kind of individual. But but yeah, I don't know what I could could tell myself that I felt like would be effective enough to make me change, other than this nigga gonna get you locked up. Like if I could have told myself about old boy that got us jammed up, I
Yeah.
would have loved to have done that. Like, hey, this nigga is telling.
Right. Right.
That's about it. But then if I would have got out of that, I would have stayed in my sin. I wouldn't have got convicted enough in
Right.
my
Right.
heart to really go full force with the Most High. Like I really like it's stuff people don't see. People don't know that when I got out, like I went and laid in the bed with women because I miss like the touch and the embrace of a woman, but I didn't go all the way like that I could have.
Mm, mm,
People don't know that, like I hold doors for heathens or I do little like this is the stuff that I'm convicted to do.
right.
That this is a part of the walk. If you really in the walk, like you supposed to be a servant. You supposed to seek the help, seek the aid. That's why I wanna bring my brothers together. That's why I wanna, you know, bring about the characteristics the Most High said He was looking for in us. He looking for justice. He looking for righteousness and judgment. He looking for compassion. He looking for unity. And it seemed like we just concern ourselves with things that don't have a physical manifestation. It's all spiritual.
Mm, mm,
But it's by a spiritual understanding that you start to manifest in the flesh.
mm, mm.
The Most High don't take nobody hand and and make them do nothing. You got to be willing, and He'll strengthen your hand to carry it out. It's
Mm,
people sitting around praying. The Most High take their hand and magically make something transpire. The book don't read like that to me, man.
right. Right. Faith without works is dead.
Mm.
Tell us this. So with that being said, I do want to say all praises to to the Most High, man, for your slice of heaven. You know, like you said, your posterity that was born. Then it being a home birth. You know what I mean? The right way to have it done. If any sisters or brothers tuning in right now, if you don't know, you know they didn't train us to think that a woman should lay on her back and push the baby out. But this the same reason why the percentage increases for a woman to die giving birth because you straining your body. It's you're going against gravity. So the father would have it rather that woman squat. You know what I mean? That she bend her knees, and that the baby comes out with the gravity. It makes it easier. Um, but aside from that, man, all praise to the Most High too for your marriage.
Slakia, real quick, man. I just want to take this moment. First of all, give all honor and praise to the Most High for providing me with a proper help me to fit my personality, to fit the kind of guy I am. My wife is not only my wife, she my co-T. She my best friend, man. We laugh together, we joke together, right? Speaking of our son, my wife is anemic. Been anemic since a child. That means her I don't know if it's white cell or red cell or some count is low. That is that she'll have a problem clotting, right? So after pregnancy, your blood have to clot. If it don't clot, you're gonna bleed out. So this is the dynamic she's in when she find out she's pregnant. Mind you, we don't find out until she's 4 months. So we always wanted to have a natural birth. We didn't have to have it at home, but we wanted to have it free from how a hospital does it. Laying on your back, born with all kind of lights and stuff in the baby face when they come out the womb and all that, right? So there was these things called like a center, birthing center, right? Where you could have it almost like a home. You could have it in a room or you could have it in a pool, right? That's how we wanted to have it. But because of her condition, um, they turned her down. But it took them a while to even give us an answer. So she found out at 4 months. It took them 2 months to give her an answer. So at 6 months, we ain't got nowhere to have a baby. Now, mind you, she found out she pregnant, I want to say in April. I think COVID hit and the restrictions hit around that same time. Around that time, is people going to the hospital and getting held in the hospital. They doing mandatory like shots and checks and stuff. It was all kind of videos going around at that time to where we leery of the hospital. Cause you go in this hospital, talk about having an ultrasound and all that, and then they trying to do something that you don't want them to do. Cause we anti narcotic. Like we don't even do ibuprofen and Tylenol, none of that. We don't do nothing, right? So if it was anything they wanted to give her that she didn't want to take, we was weary of them like mandating her and forcing her to stay in the hospital. So it was just a big feeling of just hesitation. I don't want to say fear, but like a grave cautiousness, right? And we calling around for midwives. Apparently, it's a lot of babies supposed to be born in August. August is a big birthing month, so all the midwives was booked up. And we 6 months in. You know, and it's like it's to the point of now, mind you, these places, certain midwives who ain't booked is telling her, I can't take you because you high risk. The birthing centers, I can't take you. You high risk. You could die. You need to be at a hospital. You need to be to where if something happened, they can help you. And it's to the point of either fold and go to the hospital, or if we can't get this midwife, we're gonna have to have this baby ourselves.
Mm.
My baby, man. My little, I don't know how tall she is. She got to be about 5'2", 5'4". My little half pint baby said, man, we just gonna do what we gotta do. I ain't going to no hospital.
Mm.
She said, if the Most High gonna take me, he gonna take me.
Mm.
So she had made up in her mind, rather than give her baby over to these people and be in their grass to do, shots and put unclean things in her body, she'd rather put us, like risk death, man. She was really ready to do it. And all praise to the Most High. Shortly after she voiced that concern, she was gonna do that, man, we found a midwife. Not only did
Mm.
we find a midwife, we found a midwife that understood that we didn't want all these extra little shots she talked about. I could give you a shot of this and a shot of that. We like, no, we want to get her blood level up. We want to get it up naturally.
Mm.
So we got on a certain diet. We started doing certain things. Now, I'm telling you this story to show her faith.
Mhm.
That this is the kind of faith she had in the Most High. That, against all odds. These people told her, you can die. These people told her, we're not dealing with you.
Mm.
And rather than cave into that, she endured and she long suffered. And we prayed to the Most High and said, we want to have this baby natural. We want to have it how you would have us to have it. We want to have it natural. We don't want no extra nothing. We're
Right.
gonna breastfeed. We're gonna do it like our ancestors did it. And we found a midwife. We was planning to go 2 hours this way, 3 hours that way, whatever, to make it happen. We found a midwife that was 20 minutes away.
Mm.
That was knowledgeable on all the natural ways, knowledgeable on all the vitamins and the supplements she could take to get her blood count up,
Mm.
and it just all worked out, man. And we did it. Hallelujah.
All right. Praise the Most High for the Abba. Okay, man. Yeah, indeed. That's the part of the testimony. That's the type of stuff we need to hear because it's some people who struggling with that. Some people they feel that all the way. You know what I mean? So the father can do it for brother Brandon as well as for his real. Now we gotta understand, and I know it was based off the lunch pad and the foundation being real faith. You know what I'm saying? Unshaken faith. Like man, this what it is. It reminds me of Daniel. When Daniel purposed in his heart that he was gonna fast for those 3 weeks, and he wasn't gonna deter from it. He needed the answer for that vision, or he just needed a response from the Most High. When you read on through the chapter, it tell you, said, well, the moment when you made it up in your mind to do that, man, your prayer was heard. But the Prince of Persia withstood me for 21 days. That's what it tells us. So having that faith and then the patience with it, man, you end up getting reaping that blessing. So all praise to the Most High, man. Higher is good, man. So from this point, though, Saint, now we done talked about, you know, you being in the streets, you know what I mean? Then you transitioning, coming into the fold, you know what I mean? The whole life then did I want to say a 360 because to my understanding, I mean you start back at the point you was at. A 180, you done flipped it. You know what I'm saying? So in that point, now I want to talk about the manifestation of the way you said you feel that the Father want to use you in the case of how He did for the Hebron's men gather. What's that about? You know what I'm saying? To understand it, we talking to a man who the door got kicked. You know what I'm saying? You was trapping it out. So to come from that mindset to explaining to us what is the Hebron's men gather.
Well, the story of Hebron goes back to my wife again. Uh, us as Hebrews in this land, this is human beings really in a wicked world, right? I didn't know until I got grown, like how much trauma we got. I didn't know how bad, rapes and molestations was, you know, abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse. I didn't know just how bad it was until I got grown and started talking to adults about it. And my wife had some issues that, you know, I'm the kind of person I want to talk solutions. Like, I really don't want to really just to hear about your problem and not want to find a way to fix it. But our women, sometimes they just content with just voicing it, right? So, um, I don't know if it's a slack on my end or what, but it's like she'd have little moments of depression, you know, just thinking about all the stuff that's happened to her in her life, and I want to help, like I want to cure it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like she needed a different method. So, long story short, she felt like there wasn't. Well, I felt like she needed to speak with other people with similar backgrounds, but she was having an issue finding those people. So, um, I started the idea of starting a trauma group, a place where people could speak about things that happened to them and how they dealt with those things. And then, you know, possibly start private conversations, hop in each other's inboxes and, you know, go from there, right? Um, but I created the group, but I never really started inviting people because at first it was a it was a man woman group, right? But I started it, and right before I published the page to make it public and start inviting people, I was like, man, ain't nobody gonna do this, man. Our people ain't ready to talk. Like, I just lost all the faith, right? And I ended up just putting it on the shelf. And I put that thing on the shelf for about 3 to 4 months until um this is when COVID started happening. And I tried to enlighten people about, COVID and how COVID ain't what you think it is. At that time, it was called Corona and all that. Trying to enlighten people on, you know, what this is and how, it ain't what you think. It's about the vaccine. It's about 5G. It's about all this stuff, right? And I tripped too. YouTube do not like you talking about that. I just forgot, man. They might try to flag your video cause of that, but my bad. But anyway, Emanon started hearing me speak on certain stuff, and he asked me to come on his live. And on his live, we started talking about our people and how our people need to come together, and how we need to talk about our issues. And I said, man, you know what, man? I had this idea for a group, trauma group, and I'm finna bring it back out, but this time I'm gonna separate it. I'm gonna start a men's trauma recovery group, and my wife can start a women's trauma recovery group. So, from the men's trauma recovery, that's when we started having these group lives. That's when StreamYard got real big and Zoom got real big, and we started having these group lives, and group conversations, and they was going off so well. We started saying, man, we need to be able to come together in person, hang out in person, and do,
Mm.
these groups in person, right? And chop it up in person.
Right.
And that's when I got hooked up with Yehukanan Yasharala. Shout out to Emanon, the Hebrew phone book, the Hebrew switchboard, connecting brews all over. Shout out to that brother. Um, he linked me up with the elders of Salt Community, and that's a whole story in itself. But they was willing to have it, looking to have something similar, looking to heal our people, us as Negro people. I know people got the 12 tribes chart, and all you have to do is be from a certain place, and not, you in the tribe automatically and stuff like that. So, but the men's group and all that, and Hebron and all that, I felt like the Negro man, the black man, you know, in whatever country he's in now. The Negro black man, not the Hamite black. We talking about the Shemite. In whatever country he's in, you know, needs trauma recovery and need a place to heal, a platform to heal. So Hebron took on that mantle of black men need to come together. You know,
Mm. Mm.
not not the Indian, not the not the Mexican, unless they Negro. They Negro, they fit the thing, but it was just on my heart to do it that way. And come to find out, the elders had the same thing about people that would come to live on that land. They wanted it to be Negro only.
Mm.
So we just started building and chopping it up, and Helbron was born, and we got two of them in the books. They all was epic. We have the Hebron Men's Gathering page on Facebook, with a lot of pictures and videos about the different gatherings. So if anybody would like to check it out, please do.
Come. All praises, man. Man, all praise to the Most High. It's an awesome thing, man. So that trauma definitely is something. You know what I mean? Trauma is one of the things that causes people to be closed minded. You know what I mean? To not embrace one another. And that's a part of what I'm talking about even today. You know what I mean? With the objective with this particular form of coming together. I'm not doing this to talk doctrine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this to talk about your beliefs and everything else, because what happens a lot of times is but you all you know about this person is their beliefs, but you don't know them as a person. You know what I mean? To understand it, man, this could be the brother to save your life. You know what I'm saying? This could be the sister to save your life. Or if you took time to just speak to this brother or this sister to get to know them, their lifestyle, where they come from, their background, their roots. You know what I'm saying? You'll find out that y'all more alike than different. You know what I'm saying? This what the heathen nations they done mastered that. They don't whatever differences that they have, they don't allow those differences to keep them apart from each other. You know what I'm saying? They say, well, what do we have in common to master and keep captive these Negroes? You know what I'm saying? So in that case, you know what I mean? This I think this is therapeutic for the nation. We need it. You know what I'm saying? So that, like I said, within your story, within your testimony, other brothers and sisters' testimonies, those who had the time and the ear to see it and listen, you would hear something say, man, I thought I was the only one dealing with it. Like you talked about, being raped and molested. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that goes on within our community. And people feeling like that they alone. They saying, don't nobody hear my cry. You don't understand me. You don't know how I feel to live life with those thoughts in my head, those same memories to come back up over and over. You know what I mean? Y'all like the only people. This is why we talk about this stuff. You know what I mean? So I think, man, the story definitely brief, and I know the father's still adding to it. Um, but we see, man, just a quick recap. The brother came from the street, from this side, did the time, a little time or whatnot, and transitioning to the point where he's married now. From a whoremonger to a married man with a son. And then putting in work for the Most High. So how you get all the glory, man. We nothing. But with that being said, look at what he did for him. You know what I'm saying? A real transition now. Real transition.
Hey, it was nothing in me to be who I am now. Everything I got about
Mm.
being a man, everything I got about being a father, about being diligent, I got it from the scriptures and was empowered through the Abba and thanks to his son Yahushua HaMashiach for taking care of all the things in his law that I can't take care of. I can't offer offerings to the temple. I can't go to Jerusalem 3 times a year. It took a Mashiach to come and to be the offering that cures all that. So it's like that atonement and all that. But he is that for what I can't do and for what I didn't know, what I didn't understand when I was committing things. Now that I know, now that I have understanding, I can't go back to that. Ain't no more offerings left for a man that come into the knowledge of the truth that go back. You know, ain't no more offerings. What offerings? What other lamb you got? It's already been done. So we gotta stay the path. We gotta be firm. We gotta guard against transgression, man. We gotta be, and that's what the Abba put on me is that go and go with strength and go with authority. You know, go ahead.
Come on, man. All praise to the Most High, man. So, if anybody got any questions, or any comments for brother Brandon, in his story, go ahead and put it in the comment. I'm sure the Ark ain't got no issue with answering nothing. And in the meanwhile, while they doing it, as I give them time for that, though, Saint. If they need to reach you, anybody inspired to, how can they?
Um, I'm on Facebook, Brandon Lewis. I got a page where I do videos. Like I said, we had started we had started doing group videos, right? Group chats called the Chop Up. Many of those videos are on YouTube and on Facebook on a page called The Life of an Israelite. The Life of an Israelite page on Facebook and channel on YouTube, where you can go and see different group discussions we've had. My wife and a panel of other sisters talked about having natural childbirth. Me, Ock Paisley, other brothers spoke about the stench of Christianity, about Western mindsets, just different topics.
I ain't go.
And we had discussions. So, Life of an Israelite page on Facebook and YouTube. I'm on Instagram. B Lewis, I want to say 573 on Instagram. I got a Twitter account and all that, but I ain't active or whatever. You know. Um, if you have any questions, and too, man, listen, I'm the kind of brother that any brother who ever hit me up and like needed some, wanted to talk, can testify to the fact that I'm here, man. I stopped doing what I'm doing to be of service. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, That's just my little offering to my brothers and sisters. I be a encouraging ill where it need to be, or I could admonish where it need to be as well. But all in love. I mean, a harbor, all in the 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 spirit or ruach of brotherhood and all that, man. So you hit my inbox. You want to talk? You want to chop it up? You got questions? You need an opinion or whatever? I'm here for you as a brother. I'm not no teacher, not no moray or none of that. I'm a fellow servant of the Most High Yah.
Come,
Hallelujah.
come. All right. Don't see no questions. But my brand said, powerful testimony. All praise to the Most High, man.
Hallelujah.
I appreciate you coming on, Saint. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I pray that it was edifying, strengthening, and helping with y'all journey, man. So, with that being said, I say shalom and blessings to the chosen.
Shalom.